All right, here we go. Notes for homework. All right, so as you set up your paper, please don't forget to leave this space to ask any questions or jot down any questions or make any notes that you need as you take notes. So this is about parallel lines and transversals. Again, I think you've seen them. Let me zoom in for you for those who are writing. Remember, you need to press pause if I'm going too fast. I highly suggest you listen to it once before you start scrambling to write everything down, but I'll let you handle it the way you feel works best for you. All right, so parallel lines and transversals. Two lines are parallel when they're on the same plane, but they never intersect. Okay, and the little symbol looks like almost kind of like a tall 11. All right, so these are just two lines that just keep going on straight forever, and they never touch each other. All right, so what's a transversal? A transversal is a line that intersects two lines that are in the same plane. Now, transversals don't necessarily have to intersect parallel lines. They can intersect two lines that aren't parallel to each other. We're going to be talking specifically about parallel lines, all right? So every example that you see, every definition that we go over in this section has to do with transversals that have intersected parallel lines. So again, a transversal is a line that intersects two lines that are in the same plane. For our purposes in this unit, it's going to be two parallel lines that are in the same plane. All right, so there are several types of angles that are formed when a transversal intersects parallel lines. All right, so the symbol that you need to get used to, or what you need to be prepared to see a lot of, is two parallel lines with a transversal cutting straight through it. Often you'll see them numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 angles that are formed. These numbers are labels. So this is angle number 1, angle number 3, angle number 6. These are not measurements. This angle is not 6 degrees. All right, so again, the labels are, these numbers, they're labels. They're not measurements. Please remember, I know I speak fast. Hit the pause button as you need to. All right, so we've already talked about vertical angles. We did that in class today. Vertical angles are angles that are across from each other when two lines intersect. So a good example here would be angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical angles. They are across from each other in where these two lines intersect. Okay, angle 3 is vertical to angle 2. So 5 is going to be vertical to angle 8. So you need to fill in angle 8 right here. All right, so angle 8, okay? And angle 7 is vertical to angle 6. That's the one that's right across from it, okay? So that's going to be an example of vertical angles. Linear pair. There are a lot of linear pairs because there's quite a few lines. Every time you see a straight edge, and what I do with this, I like to use a sticky note when I'm doing this section because I can say, okay, look, there's a straight line. So angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical pair. I can peel that right off and put it this way and see that angle 1 and angle 3 are a vertical pair. A lot of times students I've worked with will see one pair or the other but not both. And if you can use a sticky note, you can find a linear pair really fast. So I've given some examples, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4 linear pair. So 5 is going to be a linear pair with which one? Well, you've got two options. You've got angle 6, and it's going to be a linear pair with angle 7. Okay, so angle 7 and 5 I've got together. So I'm going to cover up 5 and still look at 7, and I'll see that it's also a linear pair with angle number 8. All right, and then I want to know what angle 6 is. Well, I've already paired 5 with 6. So I see what's left is 6 and angle 8. So there are lots of linear pair combinations when you look at parallel lines and transversals. All right, there's other kinds of angles though. There's 5 additional types as a matter of fact. I'm going to zoom right back in for you, those who need to see it bigger. All right, so we're going to start with alternate exterior angles. All right, so a pair of angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal and outside the parallel lines. Alternate sides of the transversal, exterior, outside the parallel lines. Okay, so the matching colors, I don't know how well you can see it on video, but these two here are green, those two here are kind of a dark blue. All right, so alternate outside, or excuse me, alternate being opposite sides of the transversal, exterior being outside the parallel lines. All right. A little note here. This type of pair of angles is always congruent. Okay? This is always congruent to this green one over here. This guy is always congruent to this guy over here. Alternate exterior angles are always congruent. ALT, EXT angle is a way to abbreviate it. It's kind of long. Alright, besides alternate exterior angles, I also have alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles, again, is a pair of angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. There's that alternate right there. But interior is different in that it's on the inside of the parallel lines. So this angle right here and this angle right here are alternate interior angles. These pairs are also always, and I'm going to underline that, and you can't see the symbol, always congruent. Alternate angles, whether they are interior or exterior, are congruent. Alright, so what if they're not alternate? What if they're on the same side? Well, you've got same side interior angles. So a pair of angles that are on the same side of the transversal and are inside, there's your interior, same side interior. So now instead of jumping across the transversal, you're on the same side. These two angles are always supplementary. They're not congruent. They will always add up to be 180 degrees. Well, if we've got same side interior, that means we've also got same side exterior. So a pair of angles that are the same side of the transversal, they're outside the parallel lines, are same side exterior. They are also supplementary. So same side is supplementary. The S's go together. One last type, corresponding angles. A pair of angles that are on the same side of the transversal and on the same side of parallel lines. So what I did is I used some symbols here. So the matched symbols represent pair of corresponding angles. So the two blue stars are corresponding. The two little smiley faces are corresponding. The little red dots are corresponding, and the little green triangles are corresponding. These guys are always congruent. Corresponding is always congruent. So see if you can quiz yourself a little bit. Can you name a pair of each type of angle? Can you name a pair of each type of angle? So can you name a pair of vertical angles? What about a pair of, or a linear pair? How about alternate exterior angles? Or alternate interior angles? Same side exterior? About same side interior? And the last one, can you find a set of corresponding angles? So what kind of problems are going to use these? Alright, so problems that are associated with parallel lines and transversals. So it's going to be solve for X kind of problems. I know you thought you were done with algebra last year, but here we go again with solve for X. And they give you the picture. Here's our parallel lines. There's our transversal. I've got these two that are marked. So what do I have? I have two angles that are marked, and looking at them I can tell they are alternate exterior angles. Well, what do I want? I want to solve for X. So how do I use alternate exterior angles to solve for X? Well, alternate exterior angles mean that they are equal to each other. They're congruent. So I can set these two expressions, 2x plus 70 and 4x plus 20, equal to each other, and I can solve for X that way. And what we realize is that X equals 25. X equals 25. Alright, so what if it doesn't look like that? What if they're not alternate exterior angles? Well, here's a solve for X again. Solve for X. Well, I'm saying that this marking right here, this little arrow says it's right there. Alright, so what kind of angles are those? Those are corresponding angles. What do we know about corresponding angles? We know that corresponding angles equal each other. So I'm going to say 7x minus 14 equals 4x plus 19. So that's how I set it up. I'd literally put this one on one side of the equal sign and that one on the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to get my x's over here, and I'm going to get my numbers over there. So I'm going to use algebra to use inverse operations and get rid of that 4. I want to get rid of the 14 over here, so I'm going to inverse operation. I'm going to add it. And what I get over here is I get 3x equals 19 plus 14. If we add those together equals 33. Well, division of the 3 means x has to equal 11. Thank you for watching tonight. If you need to start it all over again and pause as you go and write everything down, I hope you do so. Come ready tomorrow to use this information and with any questions that you may have. Thanks.